Hey guys, so today I wanted to really quickly go over updates with two of my phones, my HTC One M8 and my Galaxy S5. But before we get into that, I wanted to thank you guys for my channel growth lately. I have been gaining subscribers rather rapidly, I've noticed, and I just want to thank you guys for that because it really means a lot, and I'm getting close to hitting 700 subscribers, so it would be really cool if you guys could help me reach that goal. And yeah, so let's get into it. Starting off, this is my HTC One M8, and basically, if you remember when I found this phone in the Target bin, out of state, it had a custom ROM on it called Viper OS. And that is actually a custom ROM. I looked it up. It is an actual custom ROM you can put onto this phone. Now, the weirdest part about this phone is it has a custom TWRP recovery menu, which is really weird because it's a Verizon phone, and usually these phones are a pain to get the bootloader unlocked. So this is rather a rare HTC One M8, especially because it's in mint condition and the battery life is actually amazing on this phone. For an HTC One M8, that is. It's absolutely mint. As you guys may remember, no scratches, no dings. Screen is basically mint. There's only like one scratch on it. But anyway, since I had the custom TWRP, I put a custom ROM on it. Now, I started trying to put this ROM on it, but I had an issue with it, which I will explain in a minute. Then I tried to put Android 6, still didn't work. But then I got Android 5 to boot. Now that was a big mistake because that ROM, it was supposed to be like stock Android but with a dark mode, and that ROM was unstable. It worked the first day perfectly fine, but then I want to say the second day of it being on the phone, it started getting really slow. It started, like, gaps kept screwing up, which is like Google Apps you have to install on a custom ROM. Essentially, it just started screwing up badly. And that's another thing. I had some issues with installing both custom ROMs. Now, shout out to Tech.yt and Murphy123 for helping me with this process. And long story short, because like we have a group chat and we kind of talked it through. And so long story short, Tech.yt or Ryan told me to restore the cache data and the actual, I think it was system data. Because before you install custom ROM, you have to like wipe the phone of certain data. He did not tell me that I was supposed to also wipe the data, just the data itself. So I was having issues getting ROMs to boot because I was not doing that. But once I did that, both the ROMs installed flawlessly, and Murphy123 actually gave me the ROM file for this phone, so shout out to him for that. And long story short, that helped the ROM install. I was also having issues with the gaps because there's a version of for ARM X80 or like X64 and then also ARM64. Now, I did not realize, or at least I wasn't thinking in the moment, that these phones were not 64-bit phones, so I was installing the 64-bit version of GApps and it just wasn't installing, it wasn't working. But then I switched over to the 32-bit and it worked flawlessly. So yeah, sorry for the rambling, let's just get on to what these phones are like now. Starting off, this is the HTC One M8. I installed a Lineage OS version of Android 8.1. It's a very fast version. I could have installed 9, but I decided 8 because I've heard it's more stable, and that's the best ROM file I could find. As you can see, Lineage OS, I believe it's a version of, 15.1, Android 8.1, and this phone is very good on this. It actually, I've noticed, improved the battery life a little bit, even though this phone already had great battery life from the get-go, because I'm pretty sure this phone was barely used. It was used for development only. But yeah, long story short, this phone is really nice on Android 8. I love it. It makes it so much faster, even from the stock ROM. I have had no issues with this ROM. It's really nice. I'm kind of surprised it runs really good on this new version of Android for having a Snapdragon 801, I believe. Yeah, Snapdragon 801, which is kind of surprising. But anyway, yeah, let's move on. And yeah, just shut it off. So moving on, this is my Galaxy S5. This phone I also found at Target before it was running Android 6.0.1, I think. But long story short, this phone is a Virgin Mobile phone, which is kind of rare for the Galaxy S5, or less common, that is. But since Virgin Mobile and Sprint used to have unlocked bootloaders, I was able to boot a custom ROM to it. Although I had to use a Sprint ROM and a Sprint TWRP and all that, considering it's basically a Sprint phone and I guess Sprint ROM file works. So yeah, essentially I now have with a working fingerprint scanner when it wants to work, which I've heard there's issues with that. I have Android 9 Pie running on this phone, and it's very nice. Honestly, I love this phone so much now. It's so fast. It made the battery life on this phone amazing as well. Like, seriously, this phone used to have issues with battery on the stock ROM, and now it's extremely good, especially for a Galaxy S5. So when we go into settings, you can see I still have the light mode on it, because I had the dark mode on it before, but I feel like the light mode goes better with the white screen, and it was just kind of bothering me to have a dark mode but a white screen. But anyway, it's Android 9, as you can see right there. Does it show? Yeah, Lineage OS. It's the KLTE version, which is the version for this phone. And let me see if I can show... Actually, let me just show the Android 9. Yeah. But yeah, this phone is very nice on Android 9. It's really fast, and it has the same processor, the HTC. But another reason I didn't put the Android 9 onto this phone is because, I don't know, it's like the processor optimization in this phone is not as good as the Galaxy S5, because it's a little bit slower in some apps, especially Instagram. But even after installing the ROM, now this phone works really good with all apps. Like, even Instagram, it runs really fast. So yeah, that's really nice. Same with this Galaxy S5. But yeah, this phone works flawlessly on Android 9. I expected to have some speed issues, but no. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a quick little update on these phones. I know I rambled a lot in this video, but that was essentially the purpose of this video, just to give you some updates. And yeah, oh wait, I can show you another update too. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to subscribe and help me reach 700 subscribers. I want to try to hit 1,000 by the end of the year, which is a while, but I don't know, that's just something I thought about. And yeah, it would be really nice if you guys could help me reach that goal, and I will see you guys next time.